Welcome, everybody. I didn't know we were on. My apologies as I'm straightening my wine bottles because I started drinking already. Sorry. I did.
That's okay.
Welcome to Shoe Crazy Wine Presents a Walk Through Spain. I'm Gwen Hurd of Shoe Crazy Wines, and I always have to, display what we have as well, even though we won't be drinking any Shoe Crazy tonight. Yeah.
It's me. I'm trying to better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Benita of the Vine Wine Club.
I'm Brittany. I'm Baby Shoe Crazy Wine.
Hi, everybody. St. Clair, the Tipsy Sommelier.
I think we're all tipsy right now. I started drinking my Albarino. I've got an Albarino.
No. I might still be drunk from St. Patrick's Day.
Nice.
I'm not sure.
And it's very crisp and very dry, fruit forward. I like it. It's very good. Yeah, I think you shouldn't start drinking the night before. It doesn't make sense.
Now you tell us,
right?
Oh, I've also got a red blend on the table, you bad ladies. I've got a red blend on the table. So I just wanted to do a little something with Spain and Spanish because my Spanish is so good. ¿Cómo está usted? I mean, does everybody know what that means? I mean, really?
Yeah.
In other words,
your Spanish is so great.
How you doing?
No, absolutely not.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Oh God, I don't know. What does that mean? Muy.
I was gonna get.
No, I'm gonna try it. I'm not gonna try it.
Muy bueno. Muy bueno.
Muy bueno.
But yeah, so here's some things that's going on. We're actually working with the importer,
a lot.
Emilio, and he's going to be bringing in these beautiful Spanish wines, and we're going to be representing them. He's got some that are out of our line of vision. These are like $200-$300 bottles of wine. I don't know where God I would sell it, so he's got that himself. He's got that himself. But he's going to bring in. I think he's bringing in like 10 or 12 pallets of Spanish wine. So I just wanted to kind of do a little, intro to the Spanish wines and what they have to offer from the whites and reds. And these aren't like, what are they really known for? The Spanish wines. What's their most famous? Rioja?
Tempranillo
and Rioja. But aren't Rioja as well, right?
Rioja is a region. It's not a grape.
It's a region, but that region
that's one of its most famous regions.
Famous regions that produces they produce wine in. And Tempranillo is a red, right?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, it's a red. All right, so
I was going to say, Mom, didn't we have a Tempranillo that you let me try?
Yes, I did.
Some time ago.
But this is I was thinking maybe Benita and Teresina could tell us some stuff about Spanish wines and kind of give us a little education on them. I made some paella, and I did this, and shut up, Benito. I did this without seafood because our Teresina is allergic to shrimp. So I wanted to try something. So we're back in studio. We could have a paella, and it's made with chorizo. It's made with bacon.
Let's just not have Teresina come because we want the shrimp.
And it's made with spicy beef sausage.
Ooh. We want the shrimp.
I had to try it first. And I used some saffron and olives and capers.
You don't get to film with us in the studio. Because we want the shrimp.
It sounds delicious.
See, Teresina, you would love it. This is the kind of friend I am. I'll sample it first to make sure it's edible. Before I give it to my friends.
You're awesome.
You couldn't find no shrimp on sale, huh?
They didn't have any frozen bags on sale.
You're awesome.
I want to get one too.
Yeah, made from scratch my behind. Girl, you got that food line.
Excuse me, but I only shop at Whole Foods. Thank you very much. I only shop at Whole Foods. That's a lot. Everybody know I shop at Walmart and Food Line.
Oh my God.
Yes, we shop at Food Line, Walmart,
Sam's. That's right. Yeah. Walmart, Sam's, and Food Line. Darn it.
That's right.
There you go. Ooh, Gemmalyn, love some Sweet Bella. The We Care Cafe. Superwoman is on with us. I love her. Hey, We Care. They do a lot of business with us, and she loves the Sweet Bella.
Awesome. A lot of folks love the Sweet Bella. I've been sending out a lot of it. It's
A lot of people.
definitely, yeah, it's definitely one of the two crazy favorites around in
It
this
is.
area.
It is in North Carolina
Everybody
as
loves the
well,
Bella, yeah.
and Maryland. I mean, when we get orders from Texas, it's for peach mango and sweet Bella.
Oh,
every
cool.
every time. We've even tried get people from Alabama have tried ordering,
Oh,
and
wow.
you can't ship into Alabama. So, but we're expanding out into other states. So eventually we'll be somewhere and everywhere. But so I was like hoping Benita and Teresina would kind of give us a little education on what's your favorite Spanish wine, why, and tell us a little bit about it.
So let me say hello to Donald Brumfield. He's checking us out from the Shoe Crazy family. So Spanish wine, they do a whole lot. They're just not Tempranillo. That's what I want to start with. Although that is one of the more popular varietals from Spain. They do. I'm drinking Garnacha today, and so in France it's Grenache. Very lot of fruit, lot of acid, a lot going on with this. But their most popular or most prominently grown grape is a white called Airen, Airen. And so we see that. I got a bottle over there, but we don't see it as often because when you think Spain, you think Tempranillo. That's just one of the things that you think about. But they have some really good things. Of course, sherry is the Spanish fortified wine. And so when you think about sherry as being just a dessert wine, but it's made in all different forms. It can be dry. I was watching something on one of I think the Wine Master channel, and they did a sherry wine dinner just to show that you can share these various levels of sherry with different foods. So the wine is very diverse.
You make a very good point. I was telling Brittany to try to find some Spanish sherry today, and she couldn't find it at Publix.
I should have went to Total Wine, but
I make a turkey tetrazzini and crepes, and you use sherry in it, and it is the most beautiful sauce, so delicate and beautiful. I have to make that one day for you guys.
When you're cooking Asian foods, a lot of times they ask for dry sherry as a part of the recipe because I did some Asian green beans tonight, and I made like the sauce out of like dry sherry, soy, and like brown sugar, and I didn't have plums, so I used just dry prunes and kind of cooked it and put it in the processor. Yeah. But dry sherry, like I said, it can be sweet, it can be dry. But it's good just to have in the house because you can use it for so many things.
Yeah, it is really good for cooking. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm trying to remember the last time Mom had a bottle of sherry in the house.
Yeah, I used to be the Betty Crocker.
Keep it like it used to be in there.
Yeah, I used to really
a long time ago. I think the last time I saw a bottle of sherry in like a house was probably when we were living in Raleigh.
Yeah. So one of the wine classes that we did at the Vine Wine Club, I think it was one of the last ones before we closed for winter. There's a book, and the book was put out. It's like, what's it called? Like Pinot and Big Macs or something. But it's like it pairs wine with strange, things that we don't normally think about. It paired a cream sherry with Oreo cookies, and it was really good.
Really?
Yes.
Like I like my red blend with my pork rinds. I'm sorry.
You know what? I think I actually saw something on social media of actually someone pairing a sherry with a certain type of pizza.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was like with veggies on it or something. But I feel like I saw something pop up on my social media, and I was like, well, that's kind of random. Like pizza and wine in general.
If it was a sweet sherry, maybe. Unless it was a pineapple Hawaiian pizza.
But it didn't actually say what kind of sherry. It just said sherry, and you can pair it with this kind of style of pizza.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what kind of sherry it would be.
Teresina, what are you drinking?
Yes.
I'm gonna take a swig.
I think it's a little.
I'm drinking a Monastrell.
Oh, now that's one that's very popular in the Jamila region of Spain.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, the Monastrell. Is that from Jamila?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, because that's where this blend is from, and it's got Monastrell in it. So,
Yeah. Monastrell is like the authorized grape in that region of Spain.
This is from an area called Yicla.
Okay.
Did you say Ibiza?
This Yicla.
Oh,
I've never even heard that.
Type that in the chat.
Yicla.
Type
Let that in so we can keep it on.
it in the chat.
So we can keep it. So we don't forget that name.
yeah, right? Oh my God.
Okay, yeah.
And
Hey, Gia.
Monastrell is one of those grapes too that you can age it for longer or let it stay on the vine. Because I have one that I got from Terracina that is a late harvest Monastrell and is nice and round. It almost feels like a sherry. Just the weight of it is kind of heavy, but it's nice and raisiny. You know, that sweetness. It's one of my favorite wines from Spain.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the Monastrell.
Spanish wine.
They're Grand Pasas.
Has anybody ever been to Spain?
Yeah,
I
like that
I've never
Albarino.
been to Spain.
You like the Arboretum Terracina?
Okay, see, I was expecting you to be like, "Yup, me and your father went back in the '80s or something like that."
Yeah.
Nope,
That's what I was waiting for.
I'd love
But
to
you
go.
never been to Spain?
I would love to go. But I got a question.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Spanish actor? You know, because Latin men are known for their sexuality and their prowess and all sexual prowess and whatever. I still kind of like Antonio Banderas, even though he's like kind of aged up a little bit.
He's still
He's from
good.
Spain.
He's
He's Spanish.
He's Spanish. He's Spanish in my book.
He's probably from Cleveland.
That's all right. He's from Ohio or something.
What happened with that? We're known for their sexual prowess and good looks.
That's from Atlanta, Georgia.
I don't even think I know.
Mexico. He's not from Cleveland.
He's not from Spain.
He's from Spain. See,
He's from Macon.
Yeah.
Some random place like that.
He's from Spain. I still think he's like. To me, he's like the standard bearer for Spanish men. First
Who you
time I
like,
saw him was in
Terracina?
Zorro. I saw him in Zorro, and I just went, "Ooh, he's really good looking."
Mhm.
So who tops Antonio Banderas? He has aged a little. He's a little weathered now.
Yeah, he's fun. I don't know. Yeah, he's a little weathered, but he's still fun.
Malanga.
I mean, but
Still
it
attractive.
doesn't look all that bad. Like, I mean, there's a lot of other ones that have aged terribly.
Who you say, Terracina?
I can't hear her.
Kelly Ripa's husband.
Oh, what's his name? I know his
Kelly
name.
Ripa's husband.
I think
Yeah,
he's
I got it.
Mexican.
Is he Mexican or Spanish?
I think he's Mexican.
Swallow.
Mark Consuelo. Is he Puerto Rican or Mexican?
I don't know.
Oh, is he Spanish? He is Spain. From Spain.
Yes, you're right.
He is good looking. Isn't he?
Well, I mean, the only person that I really know that's like, you know,
He's from
Latin
Spain. He
lover.
was on the soap operas. I remember when he was on the soap operas. That's where they met.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's really good looking.
well, the one that I like is he's Cuban.
Yeah,
Who?
that's what
We're talking Spanish. Well, you know.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I mean, he's still fine.
What's his
William
name?
Levy.
Well, who is
William
it? Because I don't
Levy.
know anybody. Who?
William Levy.
William Levy. That sounds Jewish.
Who was he?
Oh my God, Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, like Ricky Martin, I guess. Too. Would that be one? Would Ricky Martin
All
be
right,
one?
shut up. All right, that was mean. Brittany's gonna say Enrique Iglesias, and we're gonna go. Oh no,
I
that's
don't think
Julio.
I've ever seen.
That's his old dad. He's like 90 years old.
Well, since we're picking people from anywhere, I want to pick the Dos Equis man.
Yeah. He is kind of sexy. He kind of sexy. He's kind of rough around the
No,
edges.
he's probably Spanish.
That's right.
So what wine would you
That's
pair
right.
with
He
him?
can speak. What wine would I pair with the Dos Equis man?
Yeah, he's the most.
With the Dos Equis guy with the beard?
Okay, since he's the most who is it? He's the most interesting man in the world.
And that's what he says. Is he from
That's what
Spain?
he said. So we will have a long night because interesting takes time. So we're gonna start with cava. We're gonna start with a cava because that's the Spanish sparkling wine. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna end the night with a Fino sherry.
I don't know anything about Spanish wine.
Oh, he's New York.
I don't even know what I have right now. I just grabbed it.
Yeah, I know the Dos Equis man ain't from Spain. I just said him.
No, he's from New York.
But he might be from Spanish Harlem.
He might have been.
I don't know where he's from.
Okay, what about Javier Bardem, the one that played in that movie where they, he was a serial killer or something? Javier Bardem.
Oh, from No Country for Old Men?
Yeah, that one.
He's really cute. Yeah, he's Spanish. No, yeah, he is Spanish.
At least it was from film star. Javier Bardem.
Now, I might be out of pocket because I'm the type of like person that likes like not so attractive actors.
Yeah, we know. We like
Benicio del Toro is like a couple.
Benicio del Toro, but I think he's Mexican. I'm gonna get one.
He's Spanish. He's Spanish. Yes. Benicio del Toro. And he's like the cutest, but he's also in one of my favorite movies, The Usual Suspects. So
oh yeah, that was a good one.
It's a good one.
No, he's Puerto Rican. He's
Puerto Rican?
Puerto Rican.
He's still cute though. Whatever. Latin love.
Yeah, there you go. See now, wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
Got a little view that we all know a little something about these Spanish and Latino men. They have a reputation.
I picked one from New York,
They
so I don't even know anybody.
You don't know Javier Bardem. Come on. Who doesn't know Antonio Banderas for Zorro?
But I'm gonna go to we're gonna go to Spain. I'm going 22. So I'll let you know when I get back.
And I'm gonna quote Grandma Trudy when we all go to Spain because we're all gonna go. I think we should do a girls' trip. And she would always say, keep your knees closed and your skirt down.
Yes, I miss my random phone calls out of the blue from her.
No
Yeah.
comment.
No, she wouldn't even say hi. She was just like, no man wants to buy the cow. You can get the milk for free. Keep your legs closed. Click. And just.
Bring your skirt down.
All right.
It was really funny when my best friend William was just like, who was that? My great grandmother. May she rest in peace now. Hey, I listened to her though. I wasn't a teen mother.
You're not a teen mother. That's right.
I wasn't a teen mother. I did listen to her.
We're
So.
gonna throw some shade on teen mothers. Oh, you hear that?
Oh, that's right. I forgot you are
Everybody,
one.
you gonna throw some shade on your
That's
mama?
crazy.
You gonna
But
throw
only
some
she,
shade?
but you don't really count because you were married to dad. You were married to dad at like 16 though. So it's like, do you really even count?
I do count. I was married, yes, but you're gonna throw some shade on a teen mama. Look at that. On a teen
Hey,
mama.
you did a wonderful job.
But you did a good job though, Mom. We all
The
came
kids
out
are
alive
awesome.
and
Wait,
But
just for
two-
that,
okay. You didn't end up killing them or anything like that. So, you
just for
know.
that, I'm gonna drink the whole bottle.
He ended up being successful. You know, you didn't kill him. Stayed
I didn't
alive.
kill
So
Right.
it's
We didn't
okay.
kill each other. It's true.
He's still kicking around. So.
Still kicking around. He's a good guy.
He's still here. So it's all good.
But you see how that came out though? Now I could have taken offense to that as her mama, but I won't because I love her. But when you get back here, I'm gonna beat your. Okay, for all the
I
teen
know. I'm
mamas out
gonna
there,
hold it if that's what you're gonna do.
for all the teen mamas out there, I'm gonna take her out for y'all ladies. Okay.
All right, we're live, so everybody heard it. Okay, so if I come up missing,
That's right.
She's in the
y'all
backyard.
heard it. Okay, every one of our viewers heard it. If I come up missing, where money at?
You know that
we-
show,
You be all right.
They're in the backyard.
Oh man! So we need you just gonna see and look at the two of y'all gonna have her back, be like, we don't know.
Yeah.
What to do.
They're and Bonita
We
don't
don't
know
know.
nothing. They don't know nothing. That's all.
Oh, I ain't know a damn thing. Like, see, this
Mhm.
that's
What
messed up.
happened?
That is
This was
messed
supposed to be
up.
here last week. This is what the shoe lady sent me.
Oh,
I'm
this is
waiting
so
on this.
cute.
So since we've been on
Ooh,
here,
I like those,
the
Mom.
post office have dropped the box on my step. I'm hoping it's my shoes.
Ooh, yeah. Look at that. I don't even
Those
like
are
snakes.
cute.
These are too cute.
Yeah,
These are too
so
cute. I've already
oh
worn
yeah,
two of
that's
the other
right. You
things.
guys were on with the shoe lady last week. I was on vacation.
Where
My
were
shoes
you?
were supposed to come before, but they just got here.
I was in San Antonio, Texas.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Anyway,
eating a lot of food.
So you're
I saw my
quarantining
dad.
right
I saw
now,
my
right?
dad and my stepmom. So that was nice. They came to San Antonio.
But yeah,
So it was nice having dinner with them and everything.
I'm gonna try. Oh my God, I've got to chug this back now. Oh, you know what?
All right. So, well, this is I got the Albarino Spanish white. It's actually really good.
You were supposed to get some flan to go with in a sherry, but we won't talk about that.
Okay, I didn't have time to cook one, and I couldn't find one. So
I love flan. Has anybody here ever had flan?
I love it.
I don't know if I've ever had flan. Is it like souffle
with the caramelized?
Yeah, it's like
love it.
I love it.
It's light.
I don't know. Maybe I have had flan. I just don't remember.
Yes.
I bet you won't make me one.
Who makes good flan?
Don't even look my way when it comes to cooking.
So here's the order.
That Mexican dessert. I never made it. I
can make you a burnt bologna sandwich. Is that Spanish?
I can make flan. If Teresita makes tomato pie, I'll make flan.
Tomato pie.
I know it doesn't match, but she makes a mean tomato pie.
All right. Well,
I'll make your tomato pie.
Is that just the name, or is it really made with tomatoes?
I'll make tomato pie for any occasion.
It's cooked.
Well, I planted
but it's really made with tomatoes.
Today, so I'll have some tomatoes for y'all in about 90 days.
Yeah, it's cooked.
All right, because I was going to say I can't have fresh tomatoes. So I'll break out.
This is a blend with Monastrell. This is a
fresh garden
and a little Cabernet.
I can't.
I'm talking. I'm trying to share my blend, my Spanish blend. This has the Monastrell, Syrah, and a little Capsop. It's a beautiful blend. Very soft. It's very nice. And it pairs well with my what did I say this was? Sausage paella.
Your paella? I'm gonna forget what you made.
Paella from Alabama. No.
Let it be Mom to forget what she actually made for their Spanish.
It's not Southern Spanish.
Alabama paella.
It's Southern paella.
That's from Tennessee.
I'm Southern paella.
Sausage and bacon paella.
Oh, that's that Connecticut paella.
It's probably called something else. It's probably that kind of paella.
It's just called rice.
I eat it.
It has saffron and olives and capers in it.
Y'all have to stop talking because my friend Edwin has a message. Edwin speaks, everybody listen.
Okay.
Edwin says, who's bringing the jamon iberico, the pata negra, and manchego cheese?
I have manchego. Gotta be so extra, Edwin.
Cheese.
What does that even mean? What did you just say? Can that be in English? Because he's taking Spanish and learning it, so now he just has to be Mr. Smarty Pants in the room.
Ignore the noise.
I'm ignoring him.
He just Googled all that.
He always has to be Mr. Smarty Pants. Like, what was that? That was all like, nope. I don't even know what he was talking about.
I didn't see that. What was that?
So, Bobby, who's bringing the?
I knew the manchego. The manchego cheese.
But I don't even know what manchego cheese is. Is it good?
Who's bringing the ham? Jamon is ham, right? Am I right? Ham. I don't know what pata negra is, but I know manchego cheese. I have here.
Negra is something that's black.
In my
Are those olives? Black olives.
Black olives.
Take a stab in the dark. Black olives.
It's something black.
It's something black. Yeah, I'm like, I know that. It's like black olives.
I just don't want any cheese today.
Huh? Yeah, it's ham, but it's a ham. It's like it's sliced thin.
The pot is that like
are
those black olives?
Why would you have pork and cheese together?
Isn't that on the charcuterie board?
It's a white cheese.
Because you don't eat like salami and stuff. That's pork with cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the cheese. I have that cheese here.
Yeah, I'll eat.
And I'm enjoying it by myself. It's very nice. Okay.
So, Mom, when we were in Mexico, when we got to Mexico, when we did the
I believe you.
Yeah. Okay.
When we were doing the trip for the companies across borders or whatever it was called, did we have a Spanish wine over there in the restaurants?
We had a lot of different wines.
We had a lot of different wines, like when we were going out to the meetings and all of that stuff. But I'm just trying to remember, pinpoint one exactly. I think it was the last dinner. Because we had a port. We had a port.
Somebody was robbed and then they were robbed again by the police, the local police. So that's all I recall. I recall that we had great meetings, everything went well, and then somebody left their wallet or something on the table, and then the Mexican police officers charged them a fortune to go down to the police station, fill out a form to say, we can't help you. But I won't mention who it was. I'm just like, that's what I remember. And all the cocktails.
Yes, I think I remember a cell phone going missing as well at some point. A cell phone went missing at some point, and a lot of footage.
So,
but let me say this:
footage and a whole day wasted.
What did we go to? Where were we? It was the city was so beautiful. It was like the Rodeo Drive of Mexico.
Edwin, I know you're here. Where were we at?
Or Lane Show or something. It was sidewalk cafes. It was beautiful shopping. It was gorgeous restaurants.
Honestly, I could actually live there.
Why would I run across the border when I can be here?
I was gonna say, like, honestly, I could live there because it was like, it almost looked like Manhattan. It was kind of funny. It was like little shops and wine shops and all the little cafes and everything. It was really, really nice.
So you got to be pretty damn safe to want to leave something. Is all my point was. It's like there has to be something really, that a fire in the
because in other eyes, America is the greatest place to live.
Because a lot of those places, they're there for tourists and they have money. And so the people who are natives there, they can afford it. It's not.
They're probably living in a shack somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't look like paradise like what we saw.
So they want to come to the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
America.
Because we stayed in an Airbnb. We didn't even stay in a hotel.
Yeah,
it was nice. Yeah, the Airbnb was nice.
We bootstrapped it. But it was a beautiful area of Mexico. It really was.
Yeah, it was very nice. Very, very nice. A lot of nice restaurants.
I know we're all,
I cook a mean steak out there too.
Well, we should plan a trip to Spain and really just go when the world opens back up. I mean, right now nobody's really going.
I'm really surprised, Mom, that you've never been to Spain.
So
you've been everywhere.
I've been a lot of places, but I've never
been everywhere.
So because I do want to go. My plan is Spain.
Definitely Portugal. Did you notice you said
Portugal would be nice? Take me with you.
Huh?
I would love to go. I would love to go to Portugal.
You said my plan. You didn't say our.
Well, y'all can come with me. I mean,
I already just invited myself. Don't nobody want y'all coming. It's me and Benita.
Because they have an amazing trade show in Portugal that I want to go to. Typically is like the end of February, early March. Yeah. So of course this year didn't happen. They're looking at doing it in the second, as they call the second semester of the year. But maybe I'm not sure if I can do that. But it's definitely something I want to go. And so everybody on Facebook, y'all seen like the places where you can stay in the gigantic barrel. They make those like hotel rooms. So I did, find that particular winery, and I just want to do that.
I just really honestly just want to be able to travel again and go out of the country.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this Jumanji game.
Yeah.
Ready to be out of it.
When we first said that, Brittany, I laughed, but it's true. It's like a Jumanji game. We just can't seem to
I'm waiting for somebody to just scream Jumanji and it's done.
Yeah. Y'all know all the movies. I never watched Jumanji, so I don't know what happened.
Whoa!
You gotta watch Jumanji.
If it's anything like what we're living, it sounds like a horror movie.
That was terrible. I mean, when you think about it, like I don't know the new one that they did with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. I don't know what the
that
one
was good. Williams. That was funny, Joe. That was a funny.
It was funny. Like I haven't seen it.
That was funny. I didn't do that one. Yeah. Then there's another one coming out. You gotta see one of them.
Yeah, they have a second one coming. I didn't think about it.
That was really funny.
I think that once we start getting these vaccines, enough people get the vaccines. And I mean, these new strains are gonna come, but at least we'll have some defenses. That we should be able to. We can't keep the world closed down like this. This is crazy.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
And I'm starting to see more and more. Like in the beginning, when the vaccine was first being talked about, everybody was like, "I'm not doing it." But didn't we get to 100 million today?
I'm gonna give him props. He might have fallen down, on the steps there.
That's not look. I
saw that when he was going to Air Force One, he like busted his butt.
He got to 100 million like he said he was when his first 100 days. So I got to give him props on that. But I would just make a little quote because you know what? Who hasn't fallen and tried to recover and kept falling? Lord knows, I was in New York City in the 4-inch stilettos, and I went going. I was rolling, and the only person that helped me in New York was a homeless man. He goes, "Ma'am, are you okay?" And
I've been road-killed before too on the sidewalk.
I was so thankful. I was holding on to his dirty coat. Thank you so much.
No, but it's not even just that. But obviously, we all know those terrible cobblestones downtown.
Oh, I know. I could not.
Oh man, many nights going out with the girlfriend.
Yes.
I mean, if you can't recover, you're just gone.
You can't
out.
So when people like make jokes about it, I'm like, if you've ever fallen in your life,
like everybody. I was gonna say everybody's fallen.
You gotta pop up and you keep going down, and you try. So
everybody has fallen.
Yeah, everybody has.
Everybody has.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has busted their ass. Literally.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
A lot.
I got the scuff marks on my knees to prove it. It's like everybody's done it.
It is the truth. But it was kind of funny looking. I mean,
I wouldn't mind a churro. I want churro.
Churro. Who has churros? Where's
churros?
Teresina? Who you talking to over there in the corner? Who you talking to in the corner, Teresina?
She got a fan club back there.
Yo, boo.
Is it Franklin?
I knew it. Hey, boo.
There he is.
Look.
Hey, boo.
Say hey.
Hey,
I got some sweet Bella for you. I got some sweet Bella for you.
Your sweet Bella, your sweet Harmony that you love.
Shut up.
You know we love messing with you.
So I
messing with you.
Crazy.
Well, we were always planning to do a hip hop. We were planning to do a hip hop show. And so I think that was on your list too, Teresina, right? To go kind of.
It is on the list to still do that if we can get out of COVID.
We can do that and go some old school hip hop and really talk about, Because is that Geico commercial not the funniest thing you've ever seen?
It is. I like
fun.
That is like the funniest commercial ever. So I would love to do, do a hip hop show. If we can get Chris and Franklin on to kind of, reminisce about the old.
Wait, you talking about the Geico commercial?
When they were kicking it hard.
So there's a group of guys. I was on their show
back in the day.
Their company is called Vine of the Rhyme. And we should invite them on because they pair wine with hip hop.
With hip hop, we should.
We should invite them on.
When Chris and
we
Franklin
should do
on.
that.
Lisa, you gotta come and cook for us. This paella is really, really good, but not as good
sure
as that.
It is. There's nobody else to say it is but you.
I was gonna say ain't nobody else there.
Sure is good.
I'm sure your rice is tasty.
Yeah.
I'm sure your rice is very tasty. Paella. Is it really paella? You probably did some half-ass bypass something and you're calling it paella.
But no, we talked about having more chefs on. I got some chefs lined up that want to come on, really good, and we'll get them to make us some food.
Yes, I would like that. I like that idea of having more chefs.
This lady on Instagram, she's here in Richmond, and she's a chef as well. And I would love to, like I said, I'd love to do a chef series where we're sharing different wines and everything. So that would really be good.
And we can ask our viewers what they want to see. What they want. It ain't really about us. It's about them.
It's always about me.
This song is about me.
It's always about
you.
It's always about me. I'm Baby Sharice.
Okay.
I know. That was just all types of brat right there. That was all types of brat.
It's about me.
It's about me. It's my day.
So on days that it's not about doing, we want to do something else.
I think that's a great idea to ask everybody.
No, I think that is. Ask our viewers what they want to see us talk about.
Someone say that they really wanted to have us, talk about, relationships and that type of thing. And for me,
we already done that.
It's very personal. We did for a few minutes, but we didn't really delve into, the psyche of, crazy men. I mean, the psyche of men. Psyche of men. But I had one viewer to say, you
Psyche of
guys,
men and their side chicks.
yeah. Ooh, ouch. Do a side chick show. Ouch.
But sometimes side chicks ain't a bad thing. It depends on what you want out of a relationship. You can kind of be.
That's fine, but I kind of feel like if it's like especially if you're a married man and you have a side piece.
Usually, well, I had a conversation with the guy about that the other night. Yeah, we were just talking about, side pieces, and he said, he's not married, never been, but just talking from the perspective of his friends. And he was saying, the men, the men he know are high earners, and they know, they spend a lot of money, but the side chick, she knows she's responsible to do some things that Mrs. doesn't do. And, Mrs. have the power to say no for a lot of things, and she's still gonna be there. The side chick really ain't got no power to say no a lot of times.
Wow, that's a profound thing here, because that says that there's a transfer of power, and this woman is like a doormat. That's what it sounds
pretty much. That's literally what it is.
You know that you can't call him, let's say after 9:00. So your time is during the day or whatever, there's certain times you can't just ring his phone at 2 a.m.
I definitely know that's how it also goes with like Valentine's Day. Like they take the missus or the wife out on the day of, and then the day after is side chick's day.
Yeah, or the day before.
Take them out, or the day before. It just depends on them. But it's never the day of. So it's like, I see that. Most definitely can see that.
But I think,
it happens a lot.
I ain't poo-pooing on side chicks, because if that's what they want, everybody's getting what they want.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the decision you make.
Think about
I'm not hating you.
A woman that doesn't know about it, though, right? So she might get what she wants as a side chick, but it's the wife saying, "I'm agreeing to this." Some do. Now, I have a friend, and I won't name her name, that I was friends. Well, she finally cut me off as a friend for something stupid, but we won't. Well, that's another show.
Another show.
That's another show. But she knew, and she was perfectly content to know, because she lived a certain lifestyle, and her lifestyle she did not want to give up.
She does not want to interrupt. And so right now, everybody knows that I do a show called Books and Bottles, and the book that I'm reading now for the next taping is called Truth Hurts: Why Women Stay with Cheating Men. And she describes 8 different types of women, which basically describes why women stay when men cheat. And one of them is like the dreamer, and that until the dreamer are the women who ask for proof. The proof is already there. You just don't want to see it. All the signs are there, but because you haven't caught him in bed with the other woman, you're asking for proof, because you want to believe, first of all, that your marriage is good and perfect. And so that's the dreamer, and you ain't gonna upset your dream, because he's spending, some time and a little money, And so there's 8, this book is really interesting. I just started reading it yesterday.
I mean, the whole thing of like cheating or having side men or women, it's like, that just sounds like busy work, and I'm lazy, and
I would imagine it's work.
I mean, I can't, that just sounds tiring, just even talking about it.
Yeah.
And actually being a person that does that, how do you have enough time out of the day to do this?
But
it's exhausting.
But what about, let's take it and maybe this is in your book, Benita, but I'm going to ask Teresina this one. So, just because we haven't heard her thoughts on this, but what about the emotional cheater, right? He's not cheating physically, but he has a emotional relationship with somebody,
like the work life.
They share things with that person that they don't share with their significant other, wife or whatever. And they have this whole nother, and it's never been about the physicality of it, but the emotional, I think, cheating. What do you think? Which is worse?
Yeah. I think it's still cheating. And I think that, going back, okay, I want to I want to backpedal what Brittany said about the exhaustion of it. The emotional exhaustion of being on either side of that relationship as a woman. It's just exhausting. It would be like, I couldn't imagine having to watch my back all the time, wondering what he's doing for her. And if I was that chick, I'd be like, emotionally, it's just too much. But, if you're in a relationship with someone, you're married or whatever, and, he's got some kind of emotional attachment to someone else, that's just as painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also kind of feel like
I know you can't give your man everything, and your man is not going to give you everything, but it's still painful that it's something there that you're not capable of getting, or that he doesn't want from you, or that he just wants from this other person. Either way, it's painful.
Right. Yeah.
And I would be afraid that the emotional relationship would turn into a physical one.
Yeah, eventually, right?
Eventually, because it's like you still have that where it could happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got some guys out there. Somebody, in the text, tell us what you think from a male perspective. Are we being like the typical,
we don't want to hear a damn thing from y'all.
We don't want to hear from Edwin, because Edwin has the best world.
Somebody else.
I
wish George was on. He would tell us.
Edwin has the best world.
I know he does. He does. God knows.
He has the what?
And then I provide bread and bourbon.
There you go.
What more can he ask for?
I was gonna say, because at the end of the day, Benita is on his side chick with the bread and the bourbon.
Bread and bourbon.
I was gonna say Benita is on his side chick with the bread and bourbon. She comes over with that freshly baked bread and bourbon. That's kind of her boo thing when it comes to that.
But it's true. It's true. We have fun with it, right? Because Franklin's been my boo for a long time.
We're the type of women that we are. So it's like, but not every woman is like how we are, to where it's kind of like this would actually affect somebody.
So what I learned is a long time ago, when I was married and dealing with my life at that time. A lot of times we accept what we grow up with, and so. Like my dad wasn't married to anybody, he was single. And so, he had a lot of women. And so because that's what I was used to, I was unbothered, by something that my husband did. So, because he kind of
it was almost like it's normal to you.
It's normal. Yeah. And so, my dad was a great provider. For me. And so even, I'm not my father's wife, I'm his daughter, but even as a child, you want your attention from your parent. And so, it wasn't, he gave me attention, but he was busy. He had a whole lot going on, but he made sure I got those things. Hey, George, they just asked you a question, so you got to tune in.
But I sound like Robin L too a little bit.
Get used to something else. And so when my husband wasn't home a lot, I wasn't used to my dad being home, so I was fine.
Yeah.
So that's you make a very good point about we adapt to what we're used to, and we don't make it abnormal. It becomes your normal, which is interesting, because then you have to try to retool your thinking in that area, because then you get into a situation where it starts to hurt. And when it hurts, it needs to change, right?
Or it's worse, it goes numb. It's like when you're numb, that's worse. The indifference is really the dangerous place, because you don't even know that you hurt, because it's nothing.
Right, right. That's true. Yeah. That's true. And
so there was a comment from Naomi, and she says a lot of women know what's going on. They choose to accept it. Women in general don't want to take their role in the situation.
They just turn the other cheek and pretend like it never happened, like it doesn't exist.
Well, but that was my point. Like my friend who said, she lived a very wealthy lifestyle. And she said, I'm not giving that up because his eye tends to wander to these chicks.
Right.
Now, she may be listening to me and hear this, but she actually hired an au pair to come into her house to help her with her children. And I remember going with her to the airport, myself, Carol and a couple of us went to the airport to pick up this au pair. This au pair looked like she stepped off of a magazine cover. and I went, her ass would be back on the plane. I would be like, okay, we need her return ticket like ASAP.
Okay, you had to tell me, was he sleeping with her?
Amen.
Okay. She brings this stunning girl, Argentinian girl. I mean, think, what's her name? Giselle Bundchen. Think Giselle Bundchen.
Oh, so like everything was all brick house like.
Yeah. I mean, this girl was stunning. So of course he partook of the au pair. Of course.
Mm-hmm. I knew it.
And we were like, dear God, you walked in on this? And he's still in your house.
And he's still alive?
He's still alive, he's still in your house.
He's still breathing?
She sent her back to Argentina, but she says, I will not give up my lifestyle because his eye wanders. And I just remember thinking, wow. What do you say to something like that?
I understand it, because if, let's say, for instance, you were building Shoe Crazy and you had this husband and he's dumping money in your business. Sometimes we get so singular focused, on what it is we're doing. We ain't think about him, because I mean, in my experience, and my ex-husband is one of my best friends today because he's a great friend. We should, this marriage thing was a mess, but I was of the thing that as long as the credit card never declines when I go to the store, I ain't thinking about you. And that's not healthy, that's where I was.
That's where you were.
But I was gonna say, but that's a lot of people. That's a lot of women. It's just that's not like it's something that's so far fetched or not heard of.
Let's not be sexist about this. Today, that's a lot of men. They have women that they're living with that's providing them everything, and these women are doing whatever they want. So it's not just a male thing.
I'm saying we kind of flip the script on it.
I'm going to be fair because there are men in the same situation. So some that have chosen to stay home
friends, some of them stop working, putting in effort
and be a stay-at-home dad, and their wives are traveling all over the world doing what they want to do. And I know women like that too, because I've been friends with some. Okay, and their husbands are home taking care of the family, and they're out, doing what they want. And so those husbands don't leave because that's the major breadwinner. That woman is the major breadwinner. So I think the knife cuts both ways. I just think it cuts more with women in these situations than men. That's all.
I think that's what we talk about, because I think a lot of men don't talk so much about domestic abuse.
They don't.
Because it's a pride thing. And I think it goes the same way with infidelity. It's a pride thing. And so you're right, it happens, but they don't talk about it.
But I mean, I hate to kind of say it sometimes, like in a certain situation, that I know that there's women that just want to be married.
Yeah.
And once they get married and they have the kids, they stop having sex with their husband.
Well, we got our
and it's just like, I'm good, I got the kid, and this is it. And this is a lot of the time why they end up stepping out.
Right. So, Brittany, we got Stephen here who has he has something to say about men that are basically maligned by women.
A lot of men, reason why they don't speak. Blessings to you. One of the things, reason why a lot of men don't speak about violence against them, because you're treated like a pariah. That if you speak up, just like men who are raped, that you lost your pride and respect from other men that's out there in the public, and then also you're taught to be a man that you're just supposed to take it. It goes in the same way as when miscarriages happen. Everything's to focus on a woman, and then the guy you're supposed to just accept it, but they don't talk about the emotional aspect of the men. So that's where it comes in from that. Or if you go to the court and you just got, you didn't fight back and you got slapped around and the thing, the first thing you hear is a bunch of people laughing at the man in the courtroom. But in the other respect, you don't get that laugh. You're like, oh, shame on you. So you don't get the same respect from genders. And that's the gender inequality, and it's wrong for both sides.
It is wrong.
Yeah, and that's the whole stigma with it, is that not realizing that men do go through domestic violence and in their relationships and have been obviously molested or raped and things like that. And it's hard for them to speak up. Yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, like Stephen is saying, it's like, I'm a man. So if I say that this happened to me, that no longer makes me a man. Which isn't true. So that stigma needs to be kind of thrown out of the window and out the door to be able to allow y'all to actually heal and speak up about it.
And there's also abuse in terms of when it comes to a family. For example, a lot of men are expected to take the woman's mother or the father, who would ever may be around, if they're not able to stay by themselves, but let the guy have his mother or father be sick. the woman won't feel comfortable, and they're like, I'll leave you and abuse you emotionally in that aspect. Or if you had to take some of your family funds to take care of senior care for your family, they'll say, if you leave, I'll pull that. So a lot of women or men will stay in a bad relationship for the fact that healthcare. You see it in major cities. New York is popular for that, where there's people who've been married to somebody else for years, but they have had a relationship and married to somebody else, but they stay that way because they're going to a private school or some type of medical care, and it's really expensive, or even car. And so that's why people stay like that. Is actually the norm than the other way around.
It's more than normal.
You know what? I used to always say, like, before I got married, even I got married in 1995, that I felt like it was already this thing put in an atmosphere that you're not supposed to like your in-laws. You kind of go in here prepared to not like them. And so, to Stephen's point, I loved my mother-in-law and father-in-law. I still do. We all super cool. And I think when you go in with that attitude that this is going to be an issue, we perpetuate and we make that an issue. My mother-in-law got sick, at one point in our marriage, and she came and stayed with us as long as she wanted to or needed to. I didn't have an issue with it. My father always lived with us, so we always had an in-law in the house. And we kind of looked at it as, and I think, we have to reprogram ourselves, because we looked at it as an additional parent. We got 3 kids, and we were building this village, right here, because it does take a village.
Well, let's talk about that, because in every culture besides the U.S. and maybe in the U.K., because I do know people in the U.K., I can't speak for anybody else, but it's almost like a blemish to say that your kids are still living with you in their 20s. Right. When it should be more of this is a financial decision, like it is in India, like it is in China, like it is in, these other countries, where you stay until you're, till you're ready.
So everybody is stable.
And
everybody is financially stable. Everyone lives in a 1-bedroom shack.
Yeah, exactly. They buy real estate. They buy businesses. They start businesses. And they pool all of that financial resources into that one location. But our culture in the U.S. is like, when you hit 18, you need to get the step and
why are you still at home? Exactly.
And I think that's wrong. I don't do that. I mean, all 3 of mine live here. And the youngest is 20, and I want them to be really fun, credit, that's something that I didn't learn about as a young person. So I want my kids to know about credit. I want them to have money and some investments, money put away. So when you leave, I want you to have more money than just your deposit to put on your apartment.
Right.
And so, I do have some target dates, target age, and that age is 24. But realistically, if you ain't ready to go at 24, I ain't seeing them kids on the street.
Right. But it's not even that. I think we need to retrain ourselves to say that you should be pooling all your financial resources into one bucket. And you know what? How about you buy an apartment building and start generating income for your family that way? This is what these other cultures do. They will buy a restaurant. They'll buy an office building. They'll buy something. It's not just laying there.
They will literally buy a whole apartment building and put their whole family up in it
all day. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about collectively saying, we have a goal as a family to do this. And we just do not do this in the U.S. We are, if your kids are still in the house at 21, there's something wrong with you as a parent. That's how they look at it. Your parents' skills are a little lacking here because your kids are not self-sufficient by the time they're 19. That's insane.
I think one of the blessings and the curse is that here in the U.S. you've had more opportunities here than you do in other countries. So I'm going to go, but then when you have those opportunities, like at 18, you can go to school, you can go start a business or whatever.
Right, so you guys are wrong.
But then, and where in other countries you don't have these opportunities as a young person, so we're not forcing people to get married early and have all these kids by 15, those type of things. So then now with those opportunities, unfortunately, what's left behind is the all the blessings and the less life lessons you get as a whole from a family. And I think reason why so many businesses fail, because those lessons that you learn as working with a family, those are transferable skills that you can take in business. And I think that's what's missing. The fact that you see more women are at home, that's why they're running and doing things. That's been a benefit, and why more women are doing much more successful in business than men.
Until COVID.
Well, no,
okay, so Edwin makes a good point. Edwin makes a good point. I got to read every point. So Brittany, Edwin says in most other countries, the tuition bills aren't that high. So you'll have a bit more financial leeway to do other things. And that's
exactly what I was saying.
It's true.
You know, we live
and
here.
on top of it, it's like at the end of the day, you know, with me still living at home right now with you know, helping mom run this company, our money is circulating within us. I'm not giving it to anybody else. You know, it's going back into the business and staying with the family.
Wait a minute, you buying True Crazy wine from the Vine Wine Club.
That money.
We're keeping it right here.
We're keeping it within the family. Like,
I'm
selling here.
Sandwiches so y'all can eat too.
And it's like, and for some reason, people in the U.S. don't understand that. And, you know, they even said things to my mother of why I'm still at home. And they're just like, why is she still here? And it's just like, well, that ain't any your damn business to begin with.
But we have a roadmap in place and a journey.
We do.
But Teresina and I talked about this before about Imani and where she's going and what she's focused on. And it's the same thing, right? Yes. At some point, she's back at Teresina's house. She's at her dad's house. She's in her own apartment. But guess what? She has the option to be able to do that. And that's
she has a plan.
That's a safety net for someone in their 20s and their teens, right?
Yeah.
To say, okay, if it didn't work here, I know that I have my dad. I know that I have my mom. And then I get to start this all over again. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. But you tell somebody that and they look at you like, them kids still at your house? Then, you know, they still coming back to live with you?
Yeah.
Teresina, what are your thoughts, ma'am?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Teresina and I talked about that when you got it.
Teresina, you have anything else you want to add to that? I'm sorry.
She's on a little bit of a delay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm over
Can
here.
you hear me?
Oh, you're spilling wine.
Earbud.
Get on my shirt.
No, I don't have anything to add. We just do our best. If you want to come back home, she can. That's my thing. But she, you know, she knows how I am, and she doesn't really want to live with me. But the door is open, but she doesn't really want to come.
I can't see it. Only the host can see it, so it's on my side.
I understand she doesn't want to come, but the key is that she can. You know, before she has to come in a cardboard box, she can come home.
That's a safety net. That's a safety net. She doesn't have to come. She may not want to come, but she can come. And that's a safety net, and that's a good thing. And you, Teresina, you do that for her and your dad and her dad.
Homeless.
Yeah, she won't be homeless.
She won't be homeless. That's right. Exactly. So this actually turned into more than just a journey through Spain.
It was a fun show, and my bottle's empty.
She might not be happy.
Right here, y'all.
She won't be homeless.
She won't be homeless. Exactly. Look at you.
My bottle's empty.
Mine is not empty, but you know what? This one is almost empty, and this one is just getting started. I'll finish this tonight. But we did a walk in Spain, and here's why I like the relationship thing that we were talking about, and I'd love to be able to expound on this again, because I'd love to have someone here that has a Latino background to talk about the challenges that they have as Latino women, because Latino men are very machismo, right? I rule the roost, I rule the house. And I would love to I have a friend up in DC, Sonia. I would love to have their perspective, someone else's perspective on, different cultures and how they deal in their relationships. I'd love for that to be a show. Women from Africa, we're African-American, but we're not from Africa. Women, from the Caribbean, women from the Latino community, women from the, white community, women that are also experiencing relationship issues. I'd love for that to be a show one day. And I hope that this was interesting to some folks.
So if we do that as a show, I'm recording it and I'm putting it on Love Wins.
Okay.
My podcast about relationships.
I might actually be able to ask my friend Shay. Remember Shay?
Yeah, Shay. Absolutely.
Yeah, she's Latino.
Good.
We want to play a
I'm gonna call my friend Selma Hayek and see if she's free.
I'm gonna call Antonio.
Okay.
We're gonna do a quick clip that we did a commercial that has it's in Spanish. So I would like to just do a little homage to the Spanish.
¿Por qué estar quietos cuando puedes brillar? Shoe Crazy Wine, Sparkling Peach y Mango, siempre parte de la celebración. Shoe Crazy Wine, orgullosamente hecho en Estados Unidos. Toma con responsabilidad.
I love that commercial.
I loved it.
That was
It
such a
sounded
fun
really
commercial.
tasty.
I know. I loved it. I know.
It sounded like they were saying some really good
It
stuff.
was nice. It was so much fun.
Yes. I mean, I just love that we did that 2 years ago. We did that 2 years ago at an event in Richmond. And I just love that. We did one where there was more colorful, more of a Mexican motif. But we had professional dancers that danced the salsa and stuff that did these little.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was
just
very
want
colorful.
to pay homage to the Spanish wines. We did a couple of them today. One day we'll have lots more. But thank
We
you.
should get Emilio on the show.
I gotta say, go on
We should
stash
bring
one of them
Emilio
bottles
on
away
the
so when I
show.
get one, I'm gonna have one.
Yes, actually, I was going to say we will have Emilio on the show when all of his stuff gets here. I know it's en route, and he's doing his thing with ABC and whatever, and he'll have space here for that.
And he can, if we're still doing COVID, he can come over here and bring some paella. I'm open. I'll be fully vaccinated in like 5 days.
We'll just have him bring over mom's rice.
Yeah, right here. Shut up.
We got down there.
Right, so
She keeps calling it paella, but I know my mama. Like it's just like a Spanish rice. Like that's it.
Paella.
Like a Mahatma or something.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on Gwen Hurt Shoe Crazy Wine. Buy all the Shoe Crazy wines at Total Wine, Walmart, Sam's Club, Food Lion.
Market 25th.
www.shoecrazywine.com.
I'm Benita.
Crazy Wine.
Sorry, I'm Benita Johnson, Vine Wine Club. Don't forget, pick up your bottles of exclusive white everywhere that she said.
There you go. All right.
DT.
Paris,
TT. Oh.
She's got to get better connection.
Teresina St. Clair of the Tipsy Sommelier.
Tipsy Sommelier.
Yep. Well, you got to move like we did.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Y'all gotta beat up
Thank you for joining us. And if you have any ideas for
Yes,
shows
thank
for us,
you.
please send them over
Please, shoot us.
to crazywine.com.
Or you can actually send us a message on our Instagram or Facebook.
Yep.
We get all of those as well.
That's true. And